What's up? Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time, to the Girls Bathroom Series podcast. I'm your host and creator, Shana B, and this podcast is an extension of the Girls Bathroom Series, the written portion. I think about it, I blog about it, and here is where we talk about it. And I wouldn't be able to talk about it if it wasn't for you guys following along this series and submitting questions. It's the best part of the podcast. I want to hear from you. So remember this now. I'm gonna remind you again at the end. You can submit questions, and I just may answer it on the podcast. That will be the focus of the podcast episode. Today's question is a good one. I feel like this question will benefit my younger listeners who are starting to establish sisterhood and take it more seriously. This is also for older women who may have not established sisterhood or need help maintaining it. So, as you can imagine, this is a double-packed question, but I love a challenge. So for today's episode, the question is, how do you go about establishing sisterhood and maintaining it as you change and grow throughout your life? So when I wrote this question down, right, I highlighted how, establishing, maintaining, change, and grow. Because those are 4 different things that I believe constantly change and shift, and it will be kind of hard to set one way to look at all these 4 interchangeable parts that make up who we are and just navigating life. And as I broke this question down, it led me back to something very important: core values. Because while all these parts of life change, core values, I believe, keep us aligned. And while approaching and having core values, it's okay to have an open mind. And that's how you experience new things, right? You wouldn't know certain things until you experience it. And you don't have to worry about something consuming you or just leading you down a wrong path if you stick to your core values, who you are, your ability to trust yourself. And y'all may wonder, what would that really have to do with the question or sisterhood? So let's get into my how. How do I do it? Some of you may be aware or not aware, I have a really close childhood friend, best friend. We've been friends since 4th grade. Y'all know the story. I am also still friends with my very good friend from high school. We were able to maintain a long-distance relationship while she was away at college. I have a new friend that I met in adulthood, and we're still friends, and it's a very healthy relationship. And of course, I applied all the things I learned in girlhood to that friendship, and I believe that's why it's successful. And I also made another new friend, and that's the beauty of it, applying the things, my lessons. It helped me establish, you know what, wait, let me slow up. So my how is rooted in my mental and emotional well-being. That's how I decide, I'm going to value this relationship with her, because we can meet women and some relationships can just be for the moment, just be for the season, just it's not that deep. Every relationship isn't going to be that deep, and that's okay. However, there is some women that you meet that you just have a special type of connection with. And it kind of goes without saying, there's this level for me. Let me speak from my experience, right? And that's how people get to talking too much. You got to talk about your own shit. So for myself, I look for signs of safety. When I'm getting to know a woman and we are thinking about pursuing a friendship with one another, I think about my safety and my mental and emotional well-being. That's how I decide where that relationship is going to go or how much I'm going to give it. And I also, in addition to that, I ask myself questions, usually after we're done hanging out. Like, I like to observe, like, my energy levels. Like, how did I feel hanging out with this person? Was I being myself? Or moments where I was being myself, but how did they respond to me being myself? And not myself that I want people to believe, but my true self. That is always the goal. That's how you have to approach new relationships in life. Are you being your true self with every encounter? It shouldn't be a version. You shouldn't have versions of yourself that you flip on and off, because I believe that is what interfere with making genuine connections, when you have to constantly shield and mask yourself. And I get it. Sometimes it can be for reasons of trauma, but that is why we seek help and we heal and we grow and we learn we get better and do better. And then I also, a part of my how I know if this is a woman that I'm going to be friends with, we're going to have a successful, healthy friendship. I look at what we have in common. I need to see, do they have a level of intellect? Are they emotionally intelligent? More above all, emotionally intelligent. And self-acceptance. I like to see women accept them true selves, because then I know that I don't have to worry about her not accepting my true self. Or I don't have to worry about her questioning why I am choosing to accept her. You know, when people don't know who they are, they come with a lot of confusion, and it really, again, interferes with the ability to build and maintain a genuine connection. So I like to establish friendships with women off bat that love who they are, who stand 10 toes on who they are. What Diamond say, I love unhinged women. It's true. I love women who are bizarre, who are not afraid to be themselves no matter what room they stand in. Because, yeah, same sis. And I don't know, it's just good energy. It feels good to be aligned with those type of women. And the final clearance for me is, will I and can I be challenged? That's very important for me. I know we always know things, right? And I never want to find myself in a moment where I'm venting and my friend doesn't challenge me. Now, I'm not saying I'm looking for a teacher now. I have a mom. I'm an adult. I don't need teachings, lessons taught. I reflect and do my own work. I do my own laundry. However, what's the point of sisterhood if you can't go to them for counsel? You know, sometimes you need to hear another perspective. Sometimes you need to hear you're wrong. Sometimes you need to hear that. And I like to be friends with women who's not going to be afraid to tell me the truth, who's not afraid to push me to challenge myself, to do better, to want more. I look for that in friendship. If I don't get that from you, you know what? I'm not going to say that because my perspective on sisterhood is changing. I look at it like a village. And everybody can play the same role in the village. But I know that those who challenge me are in my inner circle. I'm sure y'all seen that graph, outer circle, inner circle, about the closeness, the level of closeness you have with people. The people who can challenge me the most are the people I'm closest to. So that's how I establish sisterhood. Safety for my mental and emotional well-being, emotionally intelligent, self-acceptance, all that good stuff. And how do I maintain it? I maintain it with open communication, direct, honest. I don't assume anything. I do not like to assume in any of my relationships with people. I've just learned that assuming is like poison. You want to taint a relationship? Assume. You want to end a relationship? Assume. Now, women do this a lot with men, and men and women have an odd relationship where some men can ignore a woman assuming things. But in friendship, in sisterhood, it is never okay to assume anything, because the moment you assume, you show a lack of trust and understanding. And if we share the same core values, that means you have self-trust. So you should trust that you're in a friendship and sisterhood with someone for the reasons you said that you were. So when people assume, women assume in sisterhood, it's not good. And I don't take anything personal. Have that changed? That changed everything. Not assuming, being direct, and not taking anything personal. That has shifted all of my relationships to a more mature level. That's how I'm able to find maturity in my relationships with women based off those things. Like, people know me. I will pick up the phone before I assume. And lastly, I don't do anything I don't want to do. I know that sounds like, what? We're friends. Yeah, but if you pay that graph, my girlhood diagram, a part of being a woman is being selective and having a choice. I don't do nothing I don't want to do. Because the moment you start doing things you don't want to do and you showing up in those spaces with that energy, you can't fake energy. And that's what I don't think people realize. People feel things. I know I feel things. So I don't never want to show up somewhere I don't really want to be. So I'm okay with saying no. I'd rather be places where I really want to be, and I come with the best intention and the best energy. So if y'all ever feel like you don't really want to be somewhere, don't go. Stop showing up to places with that energy, because people feel it. So the second half of this question was, after I've established sisterhood, how do I maintain it as I change and I grow throughout life, right? So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This framework that I've taken to establishing sisterhood has proven to be successful. I've established really good friendships. Sisters, these are my sisters. I've established these relationships throughout my journey, throughout womanhood. Like, I have, and it's really beautiful to see. I don't see how women like to sit around and say they don't got no friends. When I can look at my sisterhood, this is a community, this is a village of women. The type of women vary. Our relationship vary. Yet these are all women I can trust to be in the same room, and trust that they will look out for each other. Like, And just again to see that I have a friend, a woman in my life that's from these different phases that I'm changing and I'm going through, and they remain. The relationship remained the same. I just tailor and adjust it maybe to like where I am in the season. But other than that, that is how I go about establishing sisterhood. And that's how I maintain it. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. And it goes back to core values. I stay aligned with who I am at heart. So I just meet different versions of that, of my core values throughout life and throughout the seasons. Women who we have, I don't even want to say so much, we have our core values in common. And that's honestly beautiful now that I think about it. I have women that I don't even talk to every day. I'm just thinking about, and y'all know who y'all are. Like, I'm just thinking about y'all that I know that we can talk. We can chop it up. If y'all need something from me, vice versa. Like, there's always an ear. There's always understanding, respect, in a very genuine way. Like, if I do get a compound, I'll let y'all know so we can start our village. Core values. So if you find it complicated to even establish relationships with women, I highly consider establishing a relationship with yourself first, because you need to be secure. You need to be confident when establishing and maintaining sisterhood. It makes up for the best village, the best hood, when everybody can show up as their best. And even when you're not at your best, that's what your sisters are for, to help lift you up, guide you back in the right direction. It's beautiful. Remember what I said in part 2, bitches, betrayal, and bitterness. I talked about the 3 C's: confusion, conflict, and chaos. You want to avoid those 3 elements when establishing sisterhood. Now, it may occur, and depending on how it's dissolved and approached, I believe determines whether or not it is grounds for sisterhood or associate or what. That matters. But you do want to stay away from relationships with women where there's always confusion. There's always conflict. There's always chaos. Child, I can't believe women be out here fighting, fist fighting their friends. Those 3 elements in a friendship mean some things. Read part 2, bitches, betrayal, and bitterness, because I talk about it in there a little bit more. And I love how this is so beautifully tying in together, because I referenced part 1 in the first episode. Here I am referencing part 2 in the second episode, and that was not intentional. But I guess this is the beauty of just doing and being. All right, so let's do a recap. How I establish and maintain sisterhood as I change and grow throughout life, it is rooted in a decision that's based upon my mental and emotional well-being and safety. Is it safe for me to be myself? Am I safe in your presence? Will I be challenged? And do you accept yourself? And I maintain these relationships with open communication, honesty, being direct, never assuming, never taking anything personally, And I don't do anything I don't want to do. Now, I want to clarify on that because we live in the age of individualism and everybody's head is just too far up their own ass right now. Does that mean I miss out on my loved ones' special moments? No, absolutely not. Do I miss out on things where my friend needs encouragement and support and she's looking for somebody to show up for her? Absolutely not. That does not count. It will never count as something I don't want to do. Absolutely, I want to do that because that's what I can do for you. That's what I have to give as your sister. That's more so like a friend. It's, oh girl, let's go out. And you don't want to go out. Just say, no, you don't want to go out. I'm not talking about being selfish and missing out on big important moments because you're tired and you're not in the mood. That's not what I mean. Boom. I told you how it's established. I told you how I maintain it. And even as I change and grow throughout life, I don't fix anything if it isn't broken. This is my approach. My how has a nice success rate. I am very satisfied with my relationships in sisterhood. And a word of advice, if you're struggling with this, you just can't quite get it, you don't know where to start, what do I say? The answers are within you, boo. You know, it's in you. You just have to take the time to sit, figure it out, and do not be afraid to ask yourself the hard questions. Do not be afraid to have hard conversations with other people. Due to this society, these environments, and how we're brought up, we are not promoted to have these hard conversations. We're not prompt. Nobody tells us that becoming yourself as a woman is a challenge. You gotta fight like hell to be yourself and be a woman out here. And you gotta be okay with that fight. You cannot be okay with just accepting what's given to you and how they told you friendships and things go. No. Ask yourself the hard questions. Get to know yourself because you have to be secure and confident in this world. All of your relationships, but especially sisterhood, if you want the best results, the best outcome. Because your place and your value in a man's life, I'm so sorry to break it to you, it is not 100% guaranteed unless he's God. Unless we talking about God. Other than that, your best bet for fulfilling, healthy, a village is in your sisterhood. I'm not going to do the whole romance thing. You can't romance within sisterhood. But like I said, I love men. It is not to exile man from your life. But there is so much beauty, wealth, protection, security within sisterhood when you take the time to work on yourself. Because it's going to be so much easier for you to find other women to find safety with, to find protection with, to be yourself. So it's okay. And if you need a better outline for this, hit me up. We can talk about it. I don't mind providing a little bit more insight if you feel like you have a hunch and you just need to unravel a few things. I am here to help you do that. But like I said, I am not a licensed professional. I am not a coach or a guru. I am just your girl, Shana B from the block. Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't help it. I started watching Cassandra Bowman on TikTok. Shout out to him. Those calls are freaking hilarious. I'm your host, creator, Shana B. Thank you for tuning in to the second episode of the Girls Bathroom Series podcast. This is going to be good. I have another question. Just maybe, I don't want to announce it as the third episode because somebody can send in an even better question. So, don't forget, submit your question with the link in my bio. So many links in my bio, right? If you're curious, click them all. Find out what's there. Find out what's in there. Share the links. Share the podcast. Leave a comment. Thank you so much. Until next time.